This segment deals with the question you get from parents about whether natural immunity is better than the immunity we get from vaccines. In this clip, you'll see another example of quoting personal experience. Dr. Mendenhall quotes her personal experience with a disease that's being discussed. Most importantly, we need to point out the price of natural immunity when we're talking about this topic. The price is death and disability for some. Do you really want to take that risk? We need to plant that question in parents' minds. This is emphasized for measles in the video clip, which most parents don't realize is a particularly dangerous disease.
So back in our day, we had natural immunities to such things as the flu and chickenpox. Some of my girlfriends are hosting chickenpox parties in which all of the kids get together and kind of get chickenpox together so that they can all be immune together.
Well, back in the day, I had chickenpox. It was definitely not fun as a 17-year-old. But it's one of those things that if you get chickenpox, then a couple things can happen. You can get shingles any time thereafter in your life, which is very painful, and you don't feel good. Again, I know from experience, unfortunately. You know, most people think it's relatively benign. It's kind of a horrific week for the kid and the parents all involved with pain and itching, but there can be very deadly repercussions of that disease.
Kids every year die from chickenpox. If it's your child, then it's 100%. You know what I mean? It's a zero-sum game. It's your kid. Why would I not want to protect my child from that potential outcome?
Measles, on the other hand, is a much more dangerous illness. You know, as we protect against these illnesses, we're looking not just as the little rash and the spots and the fever, but at the bigger picture of what the disease can do in the long haul.
So when we're talking about whether natural immunity is better, we do have to acknowledge that for some infections, natural immunity is better because the immunity lasts longer. But at the same time, we have to point out that natural immunity is not complete. So for example, with whooping cough, you get reinfected even after natural infection, and we all know that young babies can have more than one course of rotavirus. And then they also have to keep in mind that there's multiple types of some diseases, like pneumococcus, where we have more than 20 serotypes of pneumococcus that cause infection. So infection naturally with one only protects you against that one, unlike the vaccine, which the current vaccine protects against 13 different strains. And then again, we need to make sure parents keep in mind that natural immunity comes at a price for some children, and that price can be very severe: deafness, brain damage, hospitalization, paralysis, and permanent scars.